Hello again. Here we are, plugging away through 4.2a, two-step equations. And this is just kind of like the beginning of these equations that we're getting into with two steps. So I will go a little quickly, but this is just to be used as a reference for you to look at. And we're going to get a lot of practice on these, so don't get overwhelmed with them. Just try to focus on the procedures. Okay, so here are the questions. 4.2a two-step equations. All right, here we go. All right, so let's start with number 1 here. The first thing I like to do when I see a two-step equation is locate that equal sign. And once I see that equal sign, I know that there are two sides of the equation. I also like to find my variable. When I know where my variable is, I know to start on this side of the equation. Now the first thing to do is to do the opposite of order of operations. In order of operations, you start with exponents, multiplication, division. We start with parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, whichever comes first, addition, subtraction. In this case, we're going to do the opposite of the order of operations and go backwards. We're going to start with addition and subtraction. So I have a -2 right there. So I'm going to do the opposite operation, or the inverse operation, which is a +2 on both sides of the equation. That will cancel it out right there. And 6 + 2 is 8. And then over here on this side of the equation, I'm still left with 4b, and I just bring that right down. So now the opposite of multiplication, right here between 4 and b is a multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. That leaves me with a b, 1b, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So b is going to equal 2. So in the box, just so you know what this box is for, you should just write 2. Okay, the next one. I like to start with my equal sign. I see my variables right there. So I'm going to start on this side of the equation. Opposite of +4 is subtract 4 on both sides of the equation. So now I have 5x equals, and 24 minus 4 is 20. This is multiplication, so the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides of the equation. That leaves me with 1x, and 20 divided by 5 is 4. So x will equal 4. Okay. This one, there's my equal sign. And I find my variable, so I'm going to start on this side of the equation. I'm going to add 1 on both sides. Cancels out. So a divided by 4 is going to equal 3 + 1 is 4. This right here is division. The opposite of division is multiplication. So that will cancel out there. And 4 times 4 is 16. Multiplication cancels out division. All right, here we go. I have my equal sign. I see this plus, and here's my variable right here. So my variable, so I know to start on this side. There's an 8 by itself. I'm going to subtract the 8 to cancel it out on both sides of the equation. And that gives me y divided by 3 equals 2, because 10 minus 8 is 2. This right here is division, so the opposite of division is multiplication. So times 3 on both sides, y equals 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And the last one. This is a tricky one. They try to trick you, let's put it that way. Okay, there's my equal sign, and here's my variable. And there's nothing really that I could do on this side of the equation just yet. What I have to do is combine those two terms, 1 minus 2/3. And if I use my calculator and I go 1 minus 2/3, I would end up with 1/3. If I didn't have my calculator, I would turn this into 3/3, because 1 is the same as 3/3. 3 minus 2 is 1/3. So this side of the equation here is 1/3 equals b over 3. And now there's my b, and this operation here is division, and the opposite of division is multiplication. So times 3. Over here I'm going to times it by 3 over 1 because it's a fraction. 3 times 3, or 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 1 is 3, so 3 over 3, which we talked about right here, equals 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so the answer here is 1. That's a lot of work I showed on that, but I just wanted to make sure you understood that. All right, that's it. 5 minutes of your life. Get that done. Try to understand it. Okay.